Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Em and this is my journey through cash budgeting. Every week I sit down with my envelope, face the wall numbers, and give every dollar a job, no matter how big or small. I'm still learning, adjusting, and saving with attention, one paycheck at a time. If you're on a tight budget, trying to get ahead, or just love the sound of cash being stuffed, you're in the right place. So grab your envelopes and let's turn the page together. So, I messed up. And I think one of the reasons why I'm at peace with it and I'm okay with it is because I had to learn somewhere, and I now realizing the consequences to my actions. Now, you're probably wondering what happened. So, give you guys a little bit of a recap. Last year I traveled quite a bit. I went to Mexico. I also went to Spain. I recently did Portugal in October. Your girl traveled. Now, out of all these trips, one of the only trip that was planned for was the one in Mexico in April. Now, as a travel agent, yes, we get to travel, but a lot of these travels, especially when they're done last minute, they're kind of at our expense. So I traveled to Mexico. I had the funds to pay for that. Mexico's already paid for. Then came Barcelona. Now, the Mexico trip was a trip that had been planned maybe a year in advance. So maybe like since August of the year before, which was 2024, I had been planning for a trip to Mexico in April 2025. So the funds, the money, the budget, everything was up to plan. We paid that within a couple of months. Then in February of last year, 2025, we then decided, I decided to go to Barcelona because as a travel agent, there's a lot of destinations that, you're recommended to go and visit. And I had never been to Spain. And if I did go to Spain, one of my top priorities was either Barcelona or it would have been or Madrid, because I'm a football fan and I really wanted to go see maybe like a game, a match, visit the museum, whatever the case may be. I wanted to see it. I decided to go to Barcelona very last minute. I hadn't even gone to Mexico yet, so we're still paying that while trying to figure out Barcelona at the same time. Barcelona went okay. Everything was paid. We went, obviously. Everything was paid for. Everything was pre-booked. All the itineraries, the activities, everything was done. However, prior to that, maybe in December 2024, I had decided to go to Portugal. And there is a group tour in Portugal that I wanted to do. And I had booked it. And I was paying for it monthly. Right. Now, this wasn't like a pre-authorized thing. So like the money wasn't coming out of my account every single month. However, I knew I was allocating to it, here and there and paying for it. Let's just say that Portugal trip was in October. The final payment for that Portugal trip was in July. I was leaving for Barcelona in July, and Barcelona was kind of a last minute thing. So you can imagine how tight some of that budget came to be. Now, all of these payments went through my credit card here, credit card there, credit card here, credit card there. And I had been struggling to pay down my credit cards for the past couple of months, yes. And ever since I came back from Portugal, work's been kind of all over the place. I've been very, very busy. And to be honest, I don't really recall, I do recall Barcelona. I have the pictures. I look at them all the time. But I don't really recall, not paying that money back. It just slipped my mind. Come to this year, I'm going to Japan. I don't think that's a surprise anymore. Yes, Japan is my next destination. However, that Japan trip was booked in May of 2025. Now, again, with the timeline, in December 2024, Portugal was booked. In August 2024, Mexico for 2025 was booked. December 2024, Portugal was booked. And February 2025, Barcelona's booked. And then May 2025, Japan is booked for 2026. Yes. Crazy, hectic, yes. Now, Japan had been booked since May, and my flights was paid, everything was done. However, I had lent some friends some money in order to get by for part of the trip. Now, I know what people are going to say, you should never lend people money. It's really not the issue here. The issue is that I did not take into consideration that my trip to Portugal had not been paid. And if you guys recall, my last big bonus from work in November, it was $3,000 that I've been mentioning that I got. That was essentially my Portugal, because my Portugal trip cost me like 3,600-ish, and that essentially was going to pay that Portugal trip. But I owed my mother. So that meant that I could not essentially take that money. I just wanted to be done with it, pay with it. I didn't want to have to pay her back with all the hurdles and the storms that I was gonna face in 2026. Even though she was like, Emily, you can pay back, but you know how parents are, nagging. You have money to go travel. Why don't you have money to pay me? You know what? I wanted to be done with it. I paid her back $3,000, meaning that since Barcelona, since Portugal, I had just been paying down like the minimum deposit on my credit card, and I actually hadn't been paying my credit card at all. So then I'm going to Japan. Thank goodness I had saved some money for my my Japan trips, and I now find myself with money that I have, which is money that I've lent, which I don't have physically, and I would not get in time for my Japan trip, which is okay because, you know, I was told about this prior to, so me not being organized have nothing to do with the person. But now I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, I have to have space on my credit card when I travel. I also have to pay down my credit card and pay down some of those trips, and it wasn't part of my financial plan for this year. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but when I tell you guys, it completely slipped my mind. Again, like I said, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I recall going on the trip. I just don't recall never not paying for it. I don't know how I have missed it, but I don't recall paying for it. Which is kind of embarrassing because I've been I started my channel in July 1st of last year. And I left for Barcelona end of July. So I don't know what happened, but essentially that is what's going on, and I have to rectify this situation. So currently, right now my credit card is suffering and it's screaming, because though I have 2 credit cards, there are a lot of credit cards that I just have to like kind of pay down, because I don't know the kind of surprises or expenses that are waiting for me in Japan. That's one. So for my Portugal trip, I have $3,340 left to pay. So if I go there, $3,440 left to pay. Then my Barcelona, which I only put down, $300 towards that. I have $3,270 left to pay for that one. And for Japan now, I have $310 that I have to pay for Japan. Yeah, $310. So that is not true. So 3,440 plus 3,270 plus 310. I am looking at a whopping $7,020 left of travel expenses left to pay. When I was going through my numbers yesterday, I'm still shocked. There's nothing I can do than laugh, because I've cried enough. Not like actual tears though, but like you know what I'm talking about, like hypothetically. Like, I'm just like, how did I miss this? Like, how did I not see this? The only thing I can say honestly was that work was just so much last year after I came back from Barcelona that even my trip to Portugal, like, was probably the first time I was traveling by myself, meaning that I wasn't going to meet a friend there. My friend wasn't coming with me. I was literally traveling solo, and I had no idea what was going on. And this was a trip that I planned since December of 2024. Like, I found out the hotel I was going to stay at maybe when I arrived at Barcelona, and the taxi driver was like, hey, where are we going? And I was just like, I don't know. Let me check. So yeah, not like, it was just kind of, I was just numb. The only way I can explain it is just numbness. So with that high number, I was so overwhelmed with the number, I already erased it from the calculator. Need to say, it needs to be rectified this year, and it will be rectified this year. So with that being said, that is kind of my debt confession and things that I need to pay. I do think Japan will have more because this is where it's kills me. I will have to take the $1,000 out of my emergency fund. I have no choice at this point. In order for me to go ahead and start paying down, basically making sure that I'm not adding another $2,000-$3,000 extra on top of the debt that I will already have. For like Portugal and Barcelona, I need to rectify Japan. Thank goodness to my handy dandy travel binder. And because I had already been saving for Japan, and if you've kind of followed through my progress, this was actually supposed to be 1,000 and some hundred. Okay, 1,000 and some hundred. Now, it currently has It currently has 870. Now, with my I Love Big Bucks challenge, I have 3,000, oh my gosh. I've been just counting thousands recently. That is just, I wish. I have 350. So what I'll do is, I know that I needed 300 for this one because this too is money that I've lent away. So I'm going to go ahead and put that 300 and towards this envelope. I'm going to take this 300 and I'm going to put it into my travel. So then I can use that money to put down another deposit. So that's going to be plus 300. 1,170. I actually had another 1,000 there, so technically this envelope was 2,170. I have, if I remember currently, it's 2,000, so minus 2,635, meaning that plus my I think it's 1,110. So I would have $1,575 to pay Japan completely. And we will get through it because I have $1,000 in my emergency funds. So $1,000 in my emergency funds, which means that I would only need to put down towards the trip $575. Once I've put that $575, I still need to buy my train tickets. Okay. I still need to have my pocket money. Okay. And I also would need to kind of lower my credit card enough so that I have at least $1,000 of buffer, because I will be going to both Japan and South Korea, and most of the hotels that was booked does not include breakfast. So I will take that as a lesson. Next time I go anywhere, whether I need it or I eat it, I will always take a hotel with breakfast. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I think it's because the person I'm traveling with never actually takes breakfast with a hotel, because she doesn't eat breakfast like that, which I don't either. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I don't think I'm gonna eat in the morning, but the fact that I don't have it and I'm kind of tight on budget, I'm just kind of a little bit nervous, because I'm like, what if like that's the only thing I can afford for the day, which I know that's not going to be the case, guys. Like, I will rectify this situation. I have enough buffers in my envelopes to kind of figure something out, but yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what if I get hungry? Like, I don't want to just starve. So yeah, that's gonna have to do. So this is my debt confession and also my mistake. And seeing how I can go from there, essentially. My plans and my goals have kind of shifted since. Actually, now that I think about it, I need to take 1,000 and bring this to the bank tomorrow. So I'm going, because my colleague is the one that's kind of taking care of the Japan portion. So she takes care of the Japan portion. I take care of the South Korea portion, only because I've been to Japan before, but she hasn't. So there's a lot of things she wants to see and do, and I was like, okay, you know what, you handle that and I'll just take care of my trip, so the South Korea part. But now this is gonna be my first time going to South Korea. If you guys have any activities, anything you suggest me doing, anything at all, please leave it down in the description below. As a travel agent, I can do research as well, but you know, I don't only want to do the tourist stuff. Like, that's what I hate about, you know, searching online. Sometimes it's like, most of the time it's like tourist stuff. I kind of want to do like, you know, some of the things like a local Korean, or maybe like that one bar that somebody would suggest. Japan, I'm pretty familiar with, Tokyo, Osaka, and even Kyoto. Like, I'm pretty familiar with the region, the area. But South Korea, please, if you have any information and you're South Korean as well, and there's maybe a spot or anything like you'd recommend, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to check it out once I am there. Now, $1,000 from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's $500. That is $700. So I just need 3 more hundred. $300. So then we have 5. That's 100, 170. 170 is what I have here. So 1,000. I'm gonna double count this because I don't trust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. $1,000. Bingo. Now, because technically I'm like done this, I will do another video where I'm not sure when, but I'm going to kind of revamp my travel binder. Italy will remain because I do plan on going to Italy, so I will be definitely cash stuffing for that soon. Let me just kind of rectify or move some things out of the way. Okay, so what I was saying is I definitely want to kind of revamp my travel binder, because Japan will already be paid for and I will definitely go back. So I'm going to be kind of erasing everything and then just putting an amount. Instead of doing 35 this time, I'm just going to do a whole number, comme nombre, pair, yes, pair. I don't know how to say that in English. Oh my god. Yeah, so I think it's whole number. So just essentially just do it to 50, and then 50, I believe how much this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 times 17, 102 times $50, 5,100 and 100, 5,100, which is not enough. 6 times 17, 102, 102. It's not enough. It's not enough. Should I put $70? 7,140. That's more like it. $70 it is. Hopefully I remember that when I create another one. I do think what I'll do also, because it's one of those destinations that I'll just keep going, honestly. And I'll maybe go into depth why I love Japan so much. And what's probably why it's my favorite place on earth. I know I haven't visited a lot, but it will always be like my destination, my go-to destination. And there is a reason behind that. I will get to it in another video, but yes. Yes, I'm trying to kind of make myself feel better a little bit here. So I have that. Italy will make the same. However, instead of putting 55, I'll probably put again like maybe like a 40, 50, like maybe like a $60, $70, $80, who knows. And then pre-travel, post-travel, all of these will remain. I will definitely be taking care of my envelopes. Yes, definitely be taking care of my envelopes. And then ideally also start saving for any of these, because I do plan on going on a cruise, which hasn't done anything. Yes, I do plan on going on cruise and doing all of that. So yeah, I'm very, very excited, nervous, and just in shock at the same time. I'm excited, nervous, and in shock. I don't like, guys, yeah. I think the worst part is calling the bank and saying like, why isn't my credit card amount going down? And it's like, although I'm very grateful that I still can remember the trips that I've had, it's just kind of embarrassed to say that I forgot that I had not paid those trips. I just completely forgot. Again, I think this is just a reminder to take care of yourself. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. Thank you for basically being here while I rant out how I messed up, and basically my debt confession, and how I haven't come up with a plan of how I'm going to tackle it. Maybe that can be in a separate video. Honestly, I think I just got the news like yesterday or something like that, so it's still kind of like fresh. Still in shock. I will definitely get back to you guys with like a more in-depth plan on how I'm going to tackle it, but for now, that's all I got. That's really all I got. I will definitely give you an update, and also I'm thinking of introducing like maybe new videos of like how I budget for my trips, and also videos such as like maybe travel vlogs. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. With that, I hope you have a wonderful day, better than I had, clearly. Had a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.